Is it just me, or does this bike look like it would fit right in Gotham City? Introducing Husqvarna's Svartpilen 801. Guys and girls, it's Username Kate. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be looking over and reviewing Husqvarna's Svartpilen 801. Now, I'm still suffering with labyrinthitis. I'm a dizzy Lizzie, so it's not wise for me to ride. But Mike is a willing participant to take this bike out on the road ride, give it a go, and report to you guys with what he thinks. So in typical format, I'm going to talk to you guys about the specs, about the stats, about the features of this bike. Then we'll get on with the ride review. I'll put chapters in the pinned comment below so you guys can navigate this video easy. And yeah, without further ado, let's crack on. Right guys, hear me out. I know the Husqvarna Svartpilen 801 looks like a 790 Duke dressed as a goth. However, the bike is very, very different. For a start, the engine, even though it shares the same platform, this 799cc parallel twin does produce more power than its 790 Duke counterpart. For a start, this one produces 105 brake horsepower at 9,250 RPM in comparison to the Duke 790's 95 brake horsepower. This bike also puts out 87 Nm of torque at 8,000 RPM. The bike has a completely different chassis to the Duke 790. It's slightly more relaxed and definitely has less aggressive geometry. Now, the bike featuring in this video today does have the software enhancements unlocked. The Svartpilen 801 does have an optional dynamic pack, and in the dynamic pack you get a dynamic mode, you get anti-wheelie mode so you can regulate the height of the wheelie, you get traction control slip adjustment to 9 levels, you get an individual selection of the throttle response plus an additional dynamic setting, and it comes with motor slip regulation. The Husqvarna Svartpilen 801 will set you back £10,499. If we take a look at the suspension on this bike, at the front we do have the WP Apex suspension in the form of 43mm upside down forks, complete with compression and rebound adjustability. Then if we look at the rear, we have again a WP Apex monoshock, again adjustable for rebound and preload. Moving on to the front brake, we have two 4-piston Husqvarna branded radially mounted calipers upon two 300mm discs. And if we look at the rear brake, we have a 2-piston Husqvarna branded floating caliper on a 240mm disc. The bike comes jam-packed with electronics, as you've come to expect from the KTM Husqvarna family. The bike has street and supermoto ABS. The modes include street, rain and sport, plus dynamic if you do get the dynamic package. We have cornering traction control and ABS, as well as an up and down quick shifter as standard, plus smartphone connectivity on that 5-inch TFT dash. Some more general specs before we move on to the ride. The seat height is 820mm. It weighs 181 kilograms without fuel, and its tank capacity is 14 litres. Right Mike, over to you.
Hi guys, Username Kate, welcome back to my channel. Jokes, not really my channel, it's Kate's channel. But I'm going to be doing a little bit of riding for the time being. Today, we're on a 801 Svartpilen. I think that's how you say it. It's a Husqvarna. Apparently, a lot of people say that it's not that nice. Well, I'll tell you what, it rides damn good. I picked it up from KTM last week. Pretty impressed by it. It does everything. There's a cycle lane. There's literally a cycle lane. There's literally a cycle lane there. But yeah, I was thoroughly impressed with it. It is insanely light and nimble. Kate was saying that she didn't think I'd like this bike. I've no idea why. It goes. It does go. It's got a lot of torque. because it is a very small bike. It feels like it's very much like a GSX-8 or a Hornet, or on them lines, but with much more power. With a lot more power. Like, it doesn't feel like it's in the MCR9 category, because it feels much smaller than one of them. I was truly impressed by it. Now, Kate was telling me before we left, I think it's got fully adjustable suspension. Do you know one thing I do like? It's got adjustable brake and clutch levers. Adjustable brake and clutch levers. More bikes should have that as standard. But no, it just feels like a real nimble bike. And when I picked it up, I did 170 mile back pretty much on motorway. It's hard not to get carried away. Because how small it feels and how light it feels. I don't mean small in stature, I mean small in, like, flicking the bike around. It just goes. Also, this is a bike built in Austria. So Kate got some stats and figures and stuff off the peeps, and this bike is assembled in Austria. But I was expecting it to be like a 790 or something like that. But this is a whole new animal. Right, we'll slow down and then I'll give it a bit. This is a second gear pull. Like, it just keeps pulling. It just keeps pulling. Do you know what this bike actually reminds me of? It really does remind me of the old Duke 690, but light, but faster, much faster. The 790 didn't feel like the 690, whereas this, it feels like the 690, but with much more power. Like, the 690 was amazing just because of how light it was and how easy it was to manoeuvre around, where the 790 was as easy, but it felt like it was a longer bike and it was a bigger bike, where this really doesn't. And I think the only way you're going to know that is if you've rode a couple of the bikes, you'll be able to tell the difference. It's just a treat. It is just a treat. Oh, that made some quiet pop 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 pop. I'd imagine with an exhaust that'd sound pretty nice. But yeah, I was pretty happy to come and ride this bike. The one thing that I do like about this bike, it's got some nice wide bars on. A lot of manufacturers put narrower bars on. I feel like the wider bars definitely give you a bit more control over the bike. It feels like it's the triangle effect, isn't it? And you've got a bigger one, so you just feel like you've got the bike more. You just feel like you're on it. I don't know how to explain things very well. Like, I'm not massively clued up on stuff. I'll tell you what, this road feels nice now that they've resurfaced it all. Cars coming, so we've got to be careful. Zoom cars. Back end slipped a bit then. That isn't ideal. I hope this road's not slippery. The back end felt like it twitched. It could have just been the suspension bouncing. I hope it was the suspension bouncing. The hardest part now is not going fast down here. I think with the horsepower, I think 100 horsepower is a fantastic amount of power from the road. Genuinely now, I feel like 100 horsepower is an amount of power that is right. It made. Oh, it's got a decent turning circle, hasn't it? It does have a good turning circle. But yeah, this road it's amazing. This is a brilliant road. But yeah, this bike, it's brilliant. It is a brilliant bike. It just works. Do you know what, right? The seat, it's got literally an inch of cushion. A literal inch of cushion. And it's surprisingly comfy. Do I go back? Do I go back over? But I'll tell you what, this would sound nice with a full system on. This would sound really nice. Let's get a picture. Let's get a picture. Dirt or tarmac? It's like tarmac. Oh, it looks like dirt, doesn't it? No, we'll not get one here, we'll get one on the other side. We'll go for the other side. Hello from the other side. Yes, I was going to plan on riding up that, but I didn't bother. Whee! Whee! Yeah, I don't mind doing these sort of videos because Kate can do all the boring stuff and I get to do all the fun riding stuff. It's quite good. Oh, I'll tell you what, it's a beautiful day today. What temperature are we on? 15 degrees and sunny. 15 degrees and sunny. It's like a delight. We'll stop here, we'll get a quick cheeky photograph. I'm going to stop here at the side of the road, get a quick cheeky photograph, and then I'm going to head back. Because I don't think I need to say any more. I think I've said enough. I don't think I've said anything, but I feel like I've also said enough. I'm just going to stop here for a cheeky photo. See, a lot of people, I've heard people complaining saying they don't like the these front bits here, but I don't know. I quite like it. I think it's like, it's one of them bikes that, it's a Marmite bike, right? You either love it or you hate it. And you know what? I really like it. But I'll tell you what I do like about it. That back end. That full cast swing, the full cast subframe. Look at that. It just looks tidy. The back, like, it just looks, tidy. It looks right. That's probably why the tyres felt a bit slippery. I thought it had normal tyres on. It doesn't. It has like blocky tyres on. One thing for me, the suspension feels real nice, but it is quite firm. Now, I am a bit of a fan of the nice softy suspension. I do like a nice little bit of woo woo. Obviously, a lot of other people don't like that. A lot of people, oh, that's not ideal. Yeah, so one thing that is, the suspension is a bit hard, but I criticise that on most bikes because I do like a real soft suspension, which you mainly get on like adventure bikes. You don't really get it on the road bikes and stuff like that. But it does have adjustable suspension. I'm not sure what I've got it in at the moment because I don't really change the things. I just get on them and ride them. By no means is it hard. It's not like sports bike hard. It's just you do feel the bumps. Oh, we've got much fuel left, haven't we? I like the dash on these. I do like how clear everything is on the dash. I like the black and the white. I like the black background. I know that a lot of people others use that for night time, but no, it looks good. Oh, we're just winning. Right. Winning. So, for the amount I've rode this bike, I have one complaint, and it's my one complaint about every single bike. Like, I feel like every single bike should have cruise control now. Cruise control should be a standard option on all bikes. Because of how strict all the speed limits are and stuff like that. It can be a bit of a pain, like when you're going into like the averages and stuff like that. And not just giving your hand a rest. I feel like I'm just a lazy rider. And I just don't want to rev the bike. And that is it. I've got no other complaints about the bike. Everything else I love about it. But that's based on my couple hundred miles that I've done. I've only done what, say 500 miles or something maximum. I've not done a massive amount. Why? It's not that warm. It is not that warm. It is 15 degrees. It is not no t-shirt and shorts weather. But yeah, I've done very limited amount of miles on it, and I just have no complaints about the bike. But the suspension being a bit firm, but all bikes are, for what I like. I like sitting on a cloud. I hope I'm doing good, Kate. I'm trying. Really, I'm trying. I just don't know what to say. Oh, why can't it be like this every day? Oh man, it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. It doesn't like 6 at 30. As I said on the last video, I do like riding the bikes on low revs. I don't feel like I should have to sit at 4,000 RPM to ride along comfortably. But you can sit at 35 comfortably. It's fine. But yeah, to summarise, this is a great bike. It's so light, it's so small, it's just so flickable. The brakes are insane, but it's hard to have an opinion on a brand new bike because there's not many bikes there's not many new bikes that are bad. I think the true test on bikes is the longevity and how they feel and ride after 10,000 miles. Not how they ride when they're brand new. Yeah, this is what I love about this bike. This right here is what I love about this bike. It's just instant.
Right, that concludes this vlog. I hope you've really enjoyed it. I know Mike enjoyed it because I've just been editing the footage, watching it back. I know how much he enjoys and loves this bike. I think it's just an absolute hooligan machine. I mean, you know, it's got that 799cc parallel twin engine in it. In this chassis, it is just going to be a hoot. Now, obviously I can't speak from experience because I haven't been able to ride this, which I am kicking myself about because this bike is so up my street. It's dark, it's stealthy, it's moody, it's got something about it. And I really, really do love the engine that is in the 790 Duke. I know this is slightly different because with this one, it's 105 brake horsepower, so we're up on power with this. I know that this one is actually, even though it's manufactured in China where the other 790 engine is manufactured, this is then shipped to Austria to be assembled and built from there. So I guess you could say it is an Austrian built engine. But yeah, I'm absolutely gutted that I haven't been able to ride it. I just think it's a beautiful bike. I mean, just visually looking at it, there are a lot of details and visual cues that I'm really on board with. I love the 801 branding that you have subtly in places on this. I like the smoked reservoirs. I like the exhaust. I like the end cap of the exhaust. I think it's just a little bit different. And again, I like the bronze finish on the engine. Just little things like that where it looks like Husqvarna have really thought about this bike when putting it together. I love this beautiful subframe. Oh, it looks like attention has been given to it, and you know, just the details of it. These motocross style bars as well, I love them. Oh, and it is quite a plasticky bike, but I feel like you can go Husqvarna, you know, like Bentley. It's a very ASMR bike. But yeah, I personally really, really like a lot of the finishes and the finer details on this. I also love that the dynamic pack, if you want to put that on this bike and unlock that electronically, that's going to cost £361, I believe. It's not like £1,000 to unlock stuff. But you do just get a few extra little bits, as I mentioned in the introduction. And the fact that you can control the height of the wheelies, that's crazy to me. One of the things that I think is pretty cool about this bike, just from somebody who is looking at the interface, the dash is mega intuitive and simple to use. I had no idea how to use it and I'm just pressing buttons, but what I'm pressing is making sense to what it's doing on the screen, and it's just super easy to navigate. One of the things that I have noticed from, again, just a observation perspective, again, I haven't ridden it, so I don't know how it kind of looks when you're on the go, but I think that mile an hour is a little bit small. I mean, it might be good if you're a YouTuber and you want to tape it up and you don't need much tape, but it's a little bit small, and I feel like you've got things that are a lot bigger on the dash that kind of detract away from the miles an hour, which when I'm on the British roads and there's so many speed cameras, average speed cameras, just kind of want to look down and have it nice and big and bold. But you can definitely see influences from the KTM dashes, of course, on this. For example, when you're picking a language on the bike and you've got the bike infographic with the different flags as the background, like that, you see that on the KTM, so I do like that kind of crossover. But yeah, guys and girls, let me know what you think about this bike in the comments below, and if you have liked this video, please consider actually liking it on the computer with the like button. Maybe even comment, maybe share it, and definitely subscribe if you haven't already. Okay guys, I'ma love you and leave you. Hopefully, you know, I can get back riding ASAP, because I'm gonna be honest, I'm getting jealous watching Mike go out on all these bikes and having his fun, so hey ho. Alright guys, until the next time, take care, ride safe, and I'll see you then. Bye!